I'd like to call to order this meeting of the School Board of Martin County for Tuesday, June 21st. If we could please rise. We have Dr. Zenobia Anderson for our invocation. Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Millay, for this opportunity. And having been formerly an employee of this school district, my heart has always been for the success of everything we do here for our children. So let's pray, because these are difficult times, but not impossible for God. Father, we honor you today. Thank you for your favor. Thank you for all that you have been to this school district. Thank you for school districts around the world. We pray especially, though, a continued covering over the Martin County school system. All of our children, our parents, our teachers, our support staff, and our district-level staff, along with our superintendent and school board, who have seemingly unsurmountable challenges, things that we have never faced before. But because of who you are, we know that we are able to overcome any challenge if we will place our hands in your hand and allow you to guide us. So I pray for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding as they seek to lead us. I pray for the summer sessions that are going on, that you will protect and care for all of those involved. Do not allow enemy forces to break down the bridges that have been built over so many years. But I pray for understanding and for favor continually. Make us an example worthy of emulation, because we care for those most important to us, our children. Bless us tonight, we pray, as business for this district is conducted today and beyond. In your Son's name, we pray and ask these favors. God, don't let any harm come to us. Don't let any harm come to our children. We need your guidance and protection. In Jesus' name we pray and say thank you again. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. The pledge now. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll now call roll. Mrs. Steffenthaler?
Present.
Mr. DiTerlizzi? Mr. DiTerlizzi? Mr. DiTerlizzi? Mr. Anderson?
Here.
Mrs. Powers?
Here.
And I'm also here. At this time, we're looking for an approval of the agenda with the following items added: 4.09, 4.10, items updated: 3.01, 3.02, 4.03, 4.05, 5.03, 5.11, 14.03, 14.10, 17.01, 17.07, items removed: 4.07, 5.05, and 18.01, and moving item number 1710 to after the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move approval with the following modifications.
Thank you.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Anderson and a second by Mrs. Powers to approve the agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That carries 4-0. Is there any item that any board member wants to move off of consent, which would be from 3 through 10? Seeing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve consent items from 3 through 10.
I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion from Mrs. Powers, a second from Mrs. Steffenthaler. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That carries 4-0. At this time, we're going to hear item number 1710, which is the approval of the Indiantown High School charter contract with IRSC and the School Board of Martin County.
I move approval of 17. 10.
I second that.
I have a motion by Mrs. Powers and a second by Mr. Anderson. Is there any discussion?
Yes. I have to discussion.
Yes, go ahead.
So I understand that we approved this. I just wanted to ask a couple questions. What is the current enrollment at this time? Do we know?
Is there a representative here who can? Okay. If you could come, hey Deb, if you can come and state your name for the record. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Debbie Coe, current principal of Clark Advanced Learning Center, overseeing the opening of Indian Town High School. Currently, enrollment and info requests from the school number at about 10. We do have the next 3 weeks in order to move forward with all of the marketing that we are continuing to do, which includes an information session on Thursday night out at Boys and Girls Club. It has been just shy of a week since our groundbreaking, and we have continued just about every day to do marketing of the school to be opened on August the 10th.
Is 10 what you thought it would be at this time, or are you?
We really did, because it has been such a short window in order to get that information out to our students. Every day, literally, we have been having at least 2 interest forms coming in since the groundbreaking.
And you're doing your marketing where?
Most of it is happening out in Indiantown itself. Would you like to hear about a few of?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Last Tuesday, of course, was our groundbreaking. We then had an information session on Thursday night out at our education center, in Indiantown for IRSC. We then spent Saturday at W&W at their celebration of their 60 years. And then on Saturday and on Sunday, we were out at Masses at the Holy Cross Catholic Church, which is adjacent to Hope School. And then this coming week, we have people out in Indiantown going business to business in order to put flyers out and to make sure that people are at our Indiantown location, IRSC's building there, for any information. And we have, of course, the other information session this coming Thursday, followed by the food trucks at Timer Powers Park on Friday night.
So where is the school going to be? What's the location? I know you haven't built it, so where
Sure.
is it?
The temporary location is at the Boys and Girls Club right off of Palm Beach in Indiantown.
Okay. And how many does that hold at Boys and Girls Club?
We are slated for 50 to 75 in that building. We will not go over 75 students in that building.
Okay. So I have another question off that topic. I noticed that the school is supposed to go up to 400 students, correct?
Yes.
At some time. And you have a site plan for the actual location.
Yes.
Is there going to be a full-service food service cafeteria there, or are you going to be contracting out all the time? Will there be something set up for permanent food service in that location?
We are still in negotiations to see if we would be able to have food service from Martin County School District, as we currently have with Clark.
Because my concern is that with 400 students, it would seem that you would have food service on campus rather than contracting out. I mean, contracting out is more expensive normally, and I know that we've done that for other, like the Hope Center as well as Clark. But my concern is that there's 400 students, and it puts a burden on the district. Even though the district is paid for that, it still puts a burden on staff to oversee that. So my question would be, is it a large enough campus to have a cafeteria of some sort? And a kitchen of some sort.
We do have a cafeteria planned in the new plan. We do have a food service kitchen. It is just going to be based on the number of students who will actually be eating lunch at that facility.
So it's a full-service kitchen where you can have your own staff, in other words, at some time?
It could be made into a full service if we need to have that.
But right now, the thought is to contract with the school district, or
Yes,
or
with the
where else would you
With
contract?
the school district, or look into other potential vendors to do that,
Okay.
that would meet all of the needs for food and nutrition services.
Okay. Because again, I think, and it's nothing about that high school, but every time we have a charter school open, it does put some burden on the school district to provide and help. And not that the school district doesn't want to do that, but it does put, we're paid for it, but it puts burden on staff who have to help oversee that. So that's my concern about the number of charter schools, because I know we also have TCCA North, and I'm guessing that they're going to try to do the same thing. So I do have some concerns about that. So I do hope that school can be a full service if and when you are able to enroll, the 400 students. So thank you very much, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any additional questions?
So, which charter schools do we provide meals for?
Currently, we work with Clark. We do not for TCCA. They have their own
Do we do
company.
anything for Hope?
Yes, as
Have we?
small, they're very small.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
some of the agreements that you'll see that come forward, it's based on our ability to provide the services.
And Debbie, do you anticipate that the new Indiantown High School would be similar to Clark, where kids are it's a collegiate type of atmosphere, so kids are kind of coming, going?
We do anticipate that, and that's why there would be question of what number of students would actually be eating there
Right.
within the time period that lunch is served. Since, like Clark, as a replication, it essentially would stop for lunch at a certain time, and many students do leave campus because we do treat it as a collegiate atmosphere.
But you're not providing transportation of any sort, correct?
We do have transportation. For the current location that will be temporary, we do have transportation being provided by Boys and Girls Club.
So if students wanted to leave campus at some other time during the day, would they
It
have
would
that
be
access?
parental
It would be parental, so that's my question.
Or parental.
Driving.
or driving
Parental-
themselves.
Yes, driving
Permission.
themselves or parental permission.
If they
Correct.
are available, have cars available, or parents available that can do that. so.
Yes.
Right, very similar to what
We have an open
Clark
campus
is.
agreement
now.
with our families at Clark, and we anticipate the same type of agreement. It's in fact within our progression plan, that if students have the ability to leave or the permission to leave, they are welcome to do so.
I think you're talking about two different socioeconomic areas, so that's my concern, is I don't know, if the burden would be on the parents to drive the students, or if they have availability to a car. So I think it's a little bit different than Clark, I guess is what I'm saying, as far as that goes.
And that will impact both transportation and cafeteria.
Thank you.
With regard to the question about whether or not they will be dining on campus or off, I had the opportunity to attend the groundbreaking. I saw the plans. They have the ability to be self-sufficient, so I think it's just a matter to see where the numbers are, and you do either or. So I can understand you wouldn't know that right now because of Lure, but they do have the capacity to meet their own needs. Yeah.
So, and then one other thing, Debbie, like, when Clark started, how did that progression go for enrollment? Like, how long did it take you to get up to your capacity?
Well, historically, I was not there at that time. However, what I understand is 180 students was what we had started with at Clark. We were not able to meet that capacity in Martin County schools, so that meant that we were able to reach out to St. Lucie County in particular, and students were enrolled for quite a few years at Clark. And then the increase to 250 students only came in 2014, which in fact was the year that I came on board.
Right. And I'm just curious, I guess this is probably Dr. Featherstone, has food service been a burden for the school district? And I'm assuming that if it were, we would not enter into a contract if we couldn't meet those needs, correct?
As we continue to grow, it may become more
Right.
difficult, and that would be on the board to make that decision to say that that service is not available. As we've had to do with transportation this year, we have not provided that. We don't have the capacity to be able to sustain.
And that's not really a board decision, but a management decision, right? Because
You actually approved the agreement, so it
Okay.
would become a board's decision to,
if we
based on our
if we do
recommendation.
contract, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you. It's very
Thank you.
exciting. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, and I'd like to point out that on page 31, on section 7, the language for food service states, "The school shall provide food services to its students consistent with the applicable Florida statutes. If the school elects to participate in the National School Lunch Program, it shall follow all applicable federal rules and regulations." So there's nothing in there that's determining where those lunches are coming from at this time. Thank you. So I have a motion and a second for, motion by Mrs. Powers, a second by Mr. Anderson. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And that also.
Aye.
Wait.
Mike has joined us.
Oh, Mr. Dieterlisi has now joined us. Hang on.
Was that an
Yes,
aye
and I
for
said
yes
aye.
or no? I think it was a delayed yes.
I think so.
I said yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, so,
Thank you.
that motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much, we appreciate it. Next item is 11.01, it's the Advocacy Committee appointment. This is the month, June, where we would appoint the person who would represent us to FSBA on the Advocacy Committee. I remind you that the Advocacy Committee is a committee that meets once a month, usually by Zoom or by GoToMeeting or one of those platforms. And then there's two subcommittees. One is the Legislative Subcommittee, which is the state one, which prior to session and then shortly after session, it meets once a week. And then the federal one, which meets more frequently than the Advocacy Committee also. So, anybody? I did it last year, just in case anybody was wondering who did it last year. Those were those reports.
This year
that I-
coming up, which one of you ladies want it, you or Marsha?
I mean, I'll volunteer to do it. I
Okay.
love it,
So I move that,
and we probably should name an alternate.
And we need an
too.
alternate?
Would you like to be the
I'll
alternate?
be the alternate, okay.
Okay. All right, so I'll submit those names, Marcia Powers and Mr. Anderson as the alternate, if that is agreeable with everybody? Okay. Retirement recognitions, Mr. Bonner?
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Millay. We have one retirement recognition this evening from our ET department, and I'll have Dr. Adrian come up and say a few words about our retiree.
Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Millay, I'm here to represent the ET department for our retiree, Mr. Bob McAdams. Bob started with us in 1995 in the maintenance department as a painter, and then in 2000 transferred over to ET, where I'm going to have his current supervisor, Chris Hall, just outline some of the responsibilities that Bob played for ET.
Madam Chair, Board, Dr. Millay, I've known Bob for, 15 years, I guess, somewhere in that ballpark. And he is probably two of the most hardworking people that I've ever had the privilege to know. He has done everything from pull cable in new buildings to dig trenches between buildings for cable. He's done tremendous work with our phone system. He helped us deploy not our current phone system, although he was involved with it, but the previous phone system. It was pretty much him and me that deployed the phone system across the entire district. So he's had his hands in a lot of things, and he is going to be sorely missed. He is still a vital, integral part of the department, and we're still trying to figure out how we're going to fill the gaps. So, but you've earned it, Bob. Congratulations.
If the board, with the exception of Mike, can come down, please.
Get down here, Mike.
Thanks, Bob.
Do you have one of those stick photographs of me?
No.
I'm holding the phone up.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
One, two. Thank you. We now have reports. 1401, Ms. DeShazo.
Good afternoon, Dr. Millay, members of the school board. It is my pleasure to bring you this month's district update. So in May, Governor Ron DeSantis announced that more than 7,500 Florida students earned an entrepreneurship and small business certification this school year. This industry-recognized certification validates students' learning and understanding of core business principles, including the essentials needed to launch and maintain a successful business. Supporting access to these certifications is part of Florida's goal to become the best state in the nation for workforce education by 2030. In alignment with this statewide focus on workforce education and development, and using funds awarded as part of the Florida Department of Education's Entrepreneurship, Education, and Training Grant, the Martin County School District prioritized entrepreneurship as part of its career and technical education course offerings this school year. Let's take a look.
I do alterations for people. I'm Seams by Sarah. Already starting her own business while still in high school because Sarah Solomon learned it was possible in the Entrepreneurship Academy at Jensen Beach High.
Senior year, Mayhew's like, there's a market for this. And I was like, you're so right.
That's truly what entrepreneurs do, is we find something that we have a passion for, something that we witness in our own human experience, and we try to fill that void to make people's lives better.
In Brent Mayhew's class, students learn the basics of being an entrepreneur, small business concepts, marketing and sales, product distribution, and business financials. This year, the end goal of the class was a little different. Through a new initiative championed by Governor Ron DeSantis and the Florida Department of Education, and with grant money to support the cause, many high school students enrolled in the Martin County School District have been able to earn their entrepreneurship and small business certification. It's part of Florida's push to become the top performing state in the nation for workforce education by 2030.
And with this certification and coupled together with our academy, I feel really strongly that our students are walking out with those highly demanded workforce, workplace skills of critical thinking and problem solving.
In total, 284 MCSD students and staff received the certification this school year. Mayhew says adding the ESB certification for his course and similar courses in the district is a huge benefit. Take Alex Warnick, for example, a Martin County High School student enrolled in the Sports, Recreation, and Entertainment Marketing Academy.
Something like a target group. That's something that's super important in small business. I was able to learn what that is, figure out what my target group was, and actually target them and help improve my business.
Both Warnick and Solomon say the certification is a game changer for their futures. Because of what they learned through the academies and earning the entrepreneurship and small business certification, they feel prepared for life after high school.
I'm looked at like when applying as a job, not just as a regular 18-year-old student, but actually someone that is worth hiring, someone that like companies want. So it was an awesome accomplishment, and it just felt amazing to get it done.
When I took that certification exam and I passed, I was just so impressed with myself, and I was like, wow, 3 years led to this, and now this isn't just a piece of paper that lasts me a year or two, it's for life. And on a resume, it will show that I went above and beyond compared to my peers.
So congratulations to all of those students. The Martin County School District Students Supporting Schools Internship Program provides our high school students with an opportunity to serve as interns across a variety of career fields. We chatted recently with a few students about the many benefits they've realized through their participation in this program.
Real job experience for high school students.
I've done different like holiday graphics for the district website, and I did some flyers for each of the schools.
That's what the Martin County School District Students Supporting Schools program, also known as the S3 program, offers.
So every day I just kind of help teachers with whatever technical problems they may have, whether that's replacing their toner and printers, changing their projector bulbs, or maybe diagnosing, fixing computers that are slow or not working.
The jobs range from graphic design and technology support to audio booth technicians.
For lighting, I've done Les Mis here at South Fork. That one had a lot of crazy lights. I did Almost Maine, which was a straight play here. I did lights for Dance Academy of Stewart. So that's always really fun.
It's a real paying job with a goal to prepare students for their future, giving them a glimpse of the careers they could have, even within the district.
I started in the S3 program 7 years ago. Started as a junior in high school. It was a great program. Got me through the door here for a full-time position after I graduated, which was very nice. A lot of what our S3 techs are doing is very similar to what I have to do here in the district office. A lot of level 1 technical issues, keyboards failing, and that sort of thing.
Through the S3 program, students get a taste of what it's like in the workforce, what it's like to have a boss, to have a work schedule, to go through an interview process.
At the end of the day, you are working with children, so you have to make sure you have the right background checks. You really have to be dedicated if you want the position, because I know that at least working up in the tech booth, it's a lot of hours. Sometimes you have to be here really late or you have to be here really early.
It's good to be able to work with clients, or like be able to do a job based on like descriptions and working with other people, getting feedback, and being able to work with a deadline.
The S3 program is expanding, giving more students the opportunity to work while still being able to prioritize their education. Now, students can be elementary teachers' aides or get paid to keep the lawns freshly cut.
Fresh cut grass in the morning smells the best, always. I get to work what I'm doing and get paid at the same time. It's a win-win.
For many of these S3 jobs, experience isn't necessary, just the will to do the work and learn.
I'd say there are absolutely things that I've learned on the job. I came into this job pretty tech savvy already, but for someone who comes into the job looking more to learn about tech, they are going to learn a ton.
Just go for it, because at the end of the day, you never know how you are able to impact these kids in meaningful ways and how much of a help you are to the teachers that are working there as well.
The S3 program is open to sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Not all positions are paid. Students can reach out to their guidance counselors to apply.
For Martin County students with disabilities are now ready to enter the workforce after graduating from the Project Search program. Project Search is a one-year transition program for students who are 18 to 21 that have deferred or are deferring receipt of their high school diploma and meet eligibility for vocational rehabilitation's supported employment program. This one-year program prepares students for the competitive employment environment and the community by immersing them in an all-day work setting. Each day, these student interns report to host businesses and learn employability skills while participating in 3 internships and experiences during the school year. Students participate in class to define their career goals and plan necessary steps to achieve them. Let's take a look at the video.
It is a bittersweet day for all of us.
It's a very special day.
It is very exciting.
For some very special Martin County School District students.
I graduated from Project Search.
Project Search is a one-year high school transition program for students with disabilities who hold off on receiving their standard diploma. During that year, students become interns, learning basic work skills through on-the-job training.
I worked in 3 internships. I worked at Pinewood Elementary, I worked at the Hope Center, and then I worked at Reprographics.
The skills I have learned are to follow directions, complete tasks, accurately listen, and pay attention. My favorite internship was the ET department because I really like working with technology and with computers in general.
The goal of Project Search is to help these students define their ideal career and achieve those dreams.
You leave here today with the skills, the work ethic, and even perhaps the vision for pursuing your dreams. But the Project Search team will continue to have your back along the way to ensure your transition goes smooth.
And hopefully, with support from local partnerships like Helping People Succeed, the ARC of Martin County, and others, along with some hard work, the student interns will be able to find their perfect job.
My dream job is to hopefully work in Disney with being on rides.
And enter the workforce.
We couldn't be prouder of them. We're so happy to be part of their journey.
Let's give those students a round of applause. Each year, School Board Member Roberts treats a group of voracious readers from Indiantown Middle School to lunch. Students chat about the books they've read over the school year while enjoying a delicious meal at the Village of Indiantown's famed Seminole Inn.
Books are food for the mind and soul.
It's an experience, and I love it. So it's really cool.
This outing pairs food for the soul with food for the tummy.
My favorite part was the brownies with the whipped cream and the chocolate chip.
Each year, Martin County School Board member Krisha Lee Roberts treats a handful of Indiantown Middle School kids to lunch. They gather at the Seminole Inn in the village of Indiantown to celebrate their accomplishments with reading.
I'm here because I finished all the levels in this app for the district called Lexia.
This lunch is all about celebrating success while encouraging students to continue growing as readers.
We got a whole bunch of readers, and they came to take us up to celebrate, I guess. Yeah. And I guess there's different reasons why people came. Some people read all the Sunshine State books. Miss Kelly, I guess she sees me every day reading a book and going to the library.
While they enjoy the food, they're also enjoying the company.
Miss Roberts, she's really cool. She's really funny too.
And they leave remembering to never stop reading.
Find the book you like. It's all about what you like and as a person, not like, oh, this book's popular, let me read that. No, Harry Potter came out years ago, and I love it. Stay focused in school and never give up on your dreams.
A round of applause for those students as well.
And for Mrs. Roberts.
And for Mrs.
That's
Roberts.
pretty amazing what you do. Thank you.
So, since 2006, the University of Florida has honored outstanding young alumni whose achievements have positively impacted the Gator Nation. The 40 Gators Under 40 program continues the tradition of honoring Gators who are going greater in their communities and professions. We couldn't be more proud to share that 2 of these outstanding honorees for the 2022 edition are graduates of the Martin County School District. Ms. Jessica Anderson, who is the niece of School Board Vice Chair Tony Anderson, graduated from South Fork High School in 2001 before earning her undergraduate and Juris Doctor degrees from the University of Florida. Ms. Anderson is a litigator by training and a diversity, equity, and inclusion advocate by passion. She is currently based out of Atlanta, where she works for Delta Airlines as the General Manager of Global DEI. She also created and leads a professional development class at Delta to empower new leaders. Her career started at the Florida-based law firm of Cole, Scott & Kissane, where she practiced employment and general commercial law. She serves on the UF Law Alumni Council and is a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. Ms. Jennifer Reisman also graduated from South Fork High School in 2001 before earning her undergraduate degree in business administration from the University of Florida. She is currently employed as the Chief Marketing Officer for Seacoast Bank, one of the largest community banks in Florida. She is responsible for strategic planning, marketing, public relations, and she leads a team focused on driving customer acquisition, deepening relationships, and protecting the bank's brand. In 2021, American Banker named her to the list of its most powerful women in banking, which celebrates women who are 40 and under whose achievements have set them apart within their companies and industry. Congratulations to these outstanding alumni. As summer break is well underway, the Martin County School District has continued to offer free meals to students aged 18 and under. Breakfasts and lunches are being served at J.D. Parker Elementary, Port Salerno Elementary, Pinewood Elementary, Hobe Sound Elementary, Warfield Elementary, Bessie Creek Elementary, and Felix A. Williams Elementary. The federal waiver that has provided free meals to all children with no income restrictions since the onset of the pandemic will expire in the coming school year. This means that families who believe their child is eligible for free or reduced price meals must complete a school meal application to receive these benefits. Meal applications will be available in mid-July. To ensure all families have ample time to get applications submitted, the district will pay for all students to eat free during the first 3 days of next school year, which would be August 10th through 12th. Thanks to a generous lunch ferry donation, all student charges or negative balances have been cleared, and all students will begin the upcoming school year with no balance on their meal accounts. Families are encouraged to visit our website at www.martinschools.org to learn more about our school meal programs. And until next time, you can find us wherever you scroll, and we appreciate your engagement with the Martin County School District.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see, Superintendent update?
All right, good evening, Board. Chair Roberts and members of the board. Happy first on the desk here from Martin County High School Principal Fabrizio. They shared, signed by all their players of basketball, the state champions here, so they've signed it all. It's a gift to you all, but we'll keep it in my office so you can come by and see it. I thought that was pretty good. But if you want to see it, I thought that'd be great to show it to you. Thank you. Proud of them and all of our athletes. You know, you don't have to be state champions, as we also had some state, Jensen Beach High School wrestling was a state champion, and then we had a runner-up with Jensen Beach baseball recently, state runner-up. So it's like there's some great things going on and throughout everything. So proud of our students, athletes. On the first page, just I'll go from the bottom up. Jensen Beach Elementary and Palm City schools, they are just coming along. If you drive past that, I encourage you to go by. I know we send some different pictures, but it really looks like the whole school that's up. You got the roofs on, the insulation, they're starting to build out the inside. So if you want more information on any one of those, we'd be glad to take you through it. If you want to see that, we could spend some time. So happy for the progress and remarkable with everything that's happened. They've stayed on schedule. We've had some limited issues with some materials, but Mark Seacrest and his group, they've really worked through it. So that's going well. Things are happening out at South Fork High School. We've had a little hiccup with the building itself. We've kicked off on the sports complex, the fields, the chiller plant, HVAC system, that project. But we're continuing to work with South Florida Water Management. There was a hiccup on the actual permit with the wetland. We're still working with them. We hope to have that resolved with a few minor issues here soon, hopefully within the next 30 to 60 days. We're working on that, but it's underway, the project, and water is important as it should be, and we want to make sure we're all doing what we're supposed to. Spotlight on career technical education, shout out to earlier when we were learning about the student STS programs and things that are going on, the entrepreneurship. A lot of great things. There's over 30 career technical education programs. And the STS program, while it was started with technology, this past year we did expand that to several others. But you can see some of the different programs that are underway, some that we've added, of course. Approximately 60% of our high school students enroll in at least one CT academy. Many are going on. We've had over 1,000 get industry certifications by our high school students for this past school year. So proud of all the hard work that's happening there. Some more statistics, new programs, the HVAC technology, the aerospace technology, the criminal justice forensics, communication technology, hospital and tourism, sports medicine, emergency medical responder, and welding. We were able to hire the welding teacher from Martin County High School. I think we have about 100 students signed up, so that's exciting to see those programs grow. 274 students earned their entrepreneurship and small business certification, which was quite remarkable. Students supporting schools, you saw the program about that and some of the different jobs that they do. On-the-job training is being offered. I'd love to see us. We're going to continue to do things where kids have more opportunities for internships. That's going to be a focus this coming school year. 100% of our 8th graders had the opportunity to learn about the CT programs through Explore My Future. So that was held at each middle school in partnership with the local chamber. So shout out to all the chamber directors, Missy Campbell, who helped spearhead that. She's great help with getting that kicked off. Some of our success here with our summer school numbers. They're kind of small that you see up there, so I'll try to look there, but it's going well. More than 1,500 students and 168 teachers are participating this year. So again, shout out to all the people that are working this summer that have planned that are carrying it off, and the parents making sure their kids are getting to school. So the Summer Leadership Intensive, the Martin County School District proudly hosted its inaugural Aspiring Principals Academy cohort. So this is our revised new principal program that's now underway. It's facilitated by the Leadership Academy. It's designed to build the capacity of current assistant principals and teacher leaders to ensure their successful transition into the future. So this is actually the program that's been transitioning that Dr. Featherstone has headed up for years. And it's I know we've had FAU leaders. You want to share just a smidge on this group, because I know you've played an important part with it.
So this is the new aspiring leaders that are going to be doing the Level 2 certification in partnership with a grant that was written with the Pew Foundation for the Leadership Academy. This was a site visit from DOE to develop the protocol for evaluating Level 2 certification programs. So we happen to be one of the districts that was selected for them to come in and evaluate what we've done in the past, what we're doing in the forward, and they're going to actually build the protocol based on all of the data that they're collecting. They're going to be going to Broward, they're going to Walton, they're going to a variety of different places, even all the way up to University of West Florida, and their principal preparation programs academically as well. So it's really exciting that we got to have them there. We had some really great feedback from DOE, and we should be receiving an executive summary as well.
So, Dr. Featherstone, you say that that's from the grant from the Pew Foundation. So what exactly is the Pew Foundation paying for?
The Pew Foundation the grant was to cover the grant for the entire 3-year program for the Leadership Academy. So this group is 10, I'll call them students, that were selected to be part of this cohort. So it's paying for the consultation. It's also paying for all of the services that are coming with it. It'll be residencies that will be part of it, and hopefully I think that Mr. Main's going to be bringing forward the ask for some principal mentors to be leads to work the program that they're going to be a part of. So it's a 3-year grant. That grant was approved by the board. I can't remember what month.
Okay, thank you.
Summer professional development, a lot is going on right now. This year's Avid Summer Institute's underway in Tampa. We've had teams from AMS, IMS, Mark County High, South Fork, JBHS, and Port Salerno Elementary that are participating in that. People from the district officer as well, so we're all on the same page in how we can move forward and grow our programs. AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. It's a framework that's been adopted throughout the district and empowers students to take ownership of their learning and necessary skills by encouraging collaboration, inquiry, and organization. So more that's going on with that program. They have to continue their training, and our goal is to kind of increase there. The next is Camp Teach. A little bit about that. It stands for Teach Technology Empowering Academic Change. It's an annual conference. It's a conference-style PD with workshops, field trips, and hands-on learning sessions that helps teachers hone their expertise in crafts. So as you can see, there's been 1,396 participants, 71 sessions delivered, 372 unique or new participants, and a lot of learning going on. And so some of the things that our teachers, of course, are working on, and they're paid $25 an hour up to 10 hours for those to attend those sessions. Paraprofessionals can attend those as well, because we try to train all of our employees that work with our students, and they can receive up to 10 hours of training. And then the summer job fair, we have several, we're hiring a lot of people. We still have quite a few more to hire. So our July job fair will be held from 3 to 6 on Thursday, July 14th at our SC Chastain campus. We're hiring for a variety of positions, including teachers, paraprofessionals, custodians, food service workers, bus drivers, and more. So we have openings in every department. And that's all I have to share. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Dr. Millay, can you you mentioned the Avid program, and so just for the community's edification, so as we know that in a school that is an Avid school, that there's an Avid course, but perhaps you could share with the community that it isn't just the students that are benefiting that are in the course, that it's transformational for the school. Could you?
Right. I can, and I'm going to let, if you don't mind, I'm going to let Dr. Miller come up, if you don't mind, Dr. Miller, because she can give you the whole group, and I'll assist with that. But
thank you.
We just were talking about that.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Chair. Tracy Miller, Assistant Superintendent of Academics. And we also have Mr. Al Fabrizio, Principal at Martin County High School. They've been an Avid school for several years now, and so what's evident on his campus, as well as others, are strategies that transcend not just through the Avid classroom, but through all classrooms, with Wicker strategies for writing, with the attitude, the can-do attitude that our students have to be able to master challenging curriculum. The Avid course really layers supports for students so that they can take on more rigorous opportunities and be able to handle the challenging curriculum that they receive in other classrooms. So it is a course, there is an Avid class, but the Avid concept is really something that does transcend an entire school community.
Thank you,
you.
appreciate that. Any other questions or comments from the board? So the other reports are here for you to read. There's the legislative update, facilities, referendum, financials, et cetera. I draw the board's attention and the public's attention to the update on the success plan that's also posted here. School board attorney, I don't believe you have anything, correct? And then the monthly HR update is also in here. I draw your attention to that. Charter school financials, facilities usage, and of course, our district forms, manuals, procedures, plans, and guidelines. So there's more that's been populating that there. We're about 13 minutes until we have open to the public, so we'll continue on with other action items. So that would be 17.01. The first action item is school board travel. As required by the statute, if there's any member of the public who wants to speak on a specific travel agenda item here before we vote on that, now would be the time to do it. Hearing none.
I move approval of 17.01.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Mrs. Powers, a second by Mr. Anderson. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
That carries 5-0. The second, 17.02, is legal services agreements for professional liability errors and omission insurance claims.
Move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. Deffenthaler and a second by Mr. Anderson. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
1703, this is the school leaders' errors and omission employment practices liability insurance for July 1, 2022 to June 30, 2023.
Move
Is-
approval.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. Deffenthaler, a second by Mr. Anderson. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. 1704, Martin County School District Student Driving Instruction Program.
Move approval of 17.04.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. Powers, a second by Mrs. Deffenthaler. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
That carries 5-0. Purchase orders over 100,000. Item number 1705.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. Deffenthaler, a second by Mr. Anderson. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
That carries 5-0.
I move approval of 17.06.
I have a motion for Mrs. Powers to approve 1706.
Second.
And a second by Mrs. Deffenthaler. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move approval of 17.07.
Hang on. All those opposed? That carries 5-0. I have a motion from Mrs. Deffenthaler to approve 1707. Is there a second?
Second. Oh, I can't say.
Second.
Sorry.
I have a motion by Mrs. Deffenthaler, a second by Mr. Anderson for 1707. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
There we go.
That carries 5-0. Mathematics textbook materials adoption.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. Powers and a second by Mrs. Deffenthaler. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? That carries 5-0. I have a 1709, the request to approve to amend and increase the award to the invitation to bid to purchase and install the interactive flat panels.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. Deffenthaler, a second by Mrs. Powers. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? That carries 5-0. And that gets us to the bottom of that. Okay.
Here we go. Look at you move.
Yes. So at this time, we'll do the first review of school board policies.
No, I think it was removed, wasn't it?
Oh, it's been removed?
18.01.
Okay. So we're 10 minutes until open to the public, so we'll take a break for 10 minutes.
6 minutes.
6 minutes. Clock's off. We'll take a break until that clock says 5 o'clock. Got it? Thank you. Okay, we're starting back. We have open to the public. Karen. Ready? Karen Keene. Thank you. Followed by Frank McChrystal.
Good evening, thank you. My name's Karen Keene. I just completed my 20th year at Murray Middle School, which is a total gem. People don't realize what a nice little school it is. Hi. And Mr. Anderson, a couple years ago, did this great thing for Black History Month. It was one of the best presentations we had. He worked along with Dr. Caswell, and it was amazing. It was really good. So we have all sorts of wonderful things here in our county. I also want to thank Victoria Deffenthaler for helping with the math book adoption. We got the book we wanted, the series, Big Ideas Math. They're phenomenal, so I'm really happy about that. But I am sort of unhappy about my salary, so I'll just bring that up quickly. Martin County, I make $47,500 a year. My master's $2,430. My referendum $7,800. My total pay is $57,730. St. Lucie, they're paying more now, more than us, which is unusual. My base there would be $51,160. My bachelor's $3,000. Referendum $7,800. Would be $61,960. Palm Beach County, which I live closer to, my base would be $55,120. $3,000 for a master's, $10,000 for the referendum, $68,120. Okeechobee, which has always been historically lower than us. I'm like way lower. I've been here for a long time. I don't know if they have a referendum. I couldn't find it. Okeechobee, 20 years experience, $60,725. Master's degree, $2,400. For a total is $63,125. All three higher than Martin County. So we haven't had a substantial raise since 2018, 2019. We gave $300 to new employees, $1,200 to $1,500 for other employees. 2019, 2020, we gave a bonus of 3%, one-time bonus. 2021, we either got $800 or $1,000 increase. 2021, we're still no contract. All the other districts around us have a contract. We've had numerous negotiations. We still don't have it. It was offered bonus only. We want a raise. We don't want a one-time bonus. Oh, my time's almost up. We want a raise due to inflation, COLA. We want additional pay to keep us going. And we have a lot of teachers we're still looking for, so I think we need to increase our pay to get more teachers in Martin County. I wanted to say more, but I ran out of time. So please consider the teachers in Martin County and give us a raise. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Frank McChrystal, followed by Alicia Harriel. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Board. Good evening, Dr. Millay, the brightest ray of hope in the room. Glad you're here. Anyways, last meeting was sort of egregious. I know what racism is. I've experienced it. I've been on the wrong side of the beatings, almost to the point of death, just for being a white guy in the wrong place at the wrong time. I remember moving here to Martin County in 1973, and for the first time ever experiencing the coolest, friendliest black people in the world, okay? We're talking Delancey's and Queens and Johnson's. Friends, high school friends, okay? And the meeting last month where you take the stupid acts of 7 or 8 middle school idiots and pile on to the point where that leads to us, Martin County, being a super racist county, okay? I don't see it. I've never seen it here, and I know what it is. But that wasn't the most egregious thing about the last meeting. We opened up a meeting with an atheist, humanist, leading the invocation, and then telling us to let the force be with us. Eula Clark, she had it right. Need to buck the system, but not for the reasons she was describing, I'm sure. Taking God out of our schools is the source of the problem. And until you take care of that big picture problem, everything else is just a little Band-Aid. Because as a coach and a teacher and a mentor to these troubled kids, all right, the greatest tool I've ever had has been taken out of my toolbox. And that's the ability to wrap your arm around a kid, a 7th grader, look him in the eye, and say, hey kid, things ain't going your way right now, but you believe this. God made you perfect. You are unique in the whole world, and he made you just as he planned. So shape up, take your lumps, and know that you are perfect just how you are. So that's the tool that's been taken out of our toolboxes in the public school systems for about 35, 40 years. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Alicia Harriel? Sydney Thomas? Ma'am.
Hello, and thank you for the opportunity to address you. My name is Sydney, and I previously worked for the school district as a program specialist in the student services department. I was fortunate enough to work with the leadership teams at all 12 elementary schools, as well as our social service workers, program specialists, and all other departments. I also have 2 students currently enrolled in the district. Recent actions by our governor have called into question what can and cannot be taught, talked about, or discussed in the classroom. Much of that legislation is very much open to interpretation, and I'm telling you right now that your teachers need guidance. Did you know that one of your teachers did not think that they were allowed to teach about Rosa Parks in their classroom anymore? That is truly missing the mark. You cannot allow this legislation to turn into an opportunity for racism to take a strong foothold in this already plagued community. We all saw what happened at Hidden Oaks. The entire nation did. And no one that worked within the district was surprised. Racism and bigotry is a huge issue here, and you owe the community action and more discussion. At this point in time, you should have an agreed upon plan and supports that the community knows about and shouldn't even have to ask for. And I'm not talking about disciplinary action. I know that you legally can't do that. And yet you've been silent. It actually reminds me of the firestorm surrounding the LGBTQ+ proclamation that turned into the Equity Proclamation in 2021. There were promises made in that proclamation, and we deserve updates. There were deliverables in that, and we haven't heard anything, and we should hear how it's going and what the response is going to be. I'm also requesting that the board follows the same steps as a school district in Oklahoma, which is a state that has even more restrictive laws regarding conversations around race and racism. District leaders hired a legal expert to provide guidance on interpretation of the laws. In that district, no teacher would have questioned being able to teach about Rosa Parks. As a matter of fact, they still engage in discussions and conversations about the impact of slavery on our culture today. And if that surprises you, then you are misinterpreting the law. This is an opportunity for racist ideologies to become even more prominent while using the law as an excuse, which isn't even accurate. It is absolutely your responsibility to provide your teachers with guidance and your marginalized community members with security and updates on what you are doing. The racist display at Hidden Oaks and its implications about the community and district have not been forgotten. You should be in front of these actions. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sydney. Alicia Dixon?
Good afternoon, Board. I made a decision after the last meeting to be here at every possible school board I could, because I don't want to be a reactive person. I want to be a proactive. I want to talk about history. If you look at the word, it says his story. His history is our history. When I taught in the St. Lucie County, we talked about the Indians, the Pilgrims, the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, but we never really talked about African American, the slavery, the slave trade. It wasn't a part of the curriculum. I want to go a little step further and talk to you about religion. We have the Jehovah's Witness, we have Pentecostal, we have Baptist, we have Christians, we have non-denominational, we have mega churches, small churches, big churches. I started out in a Pentecostal church, Church of God. A lot of people shun away from Jehovah's Witness, don't even invite them to their house. How are you going to learn about someone if you don't ever sit down and talk to them? I invite everybody to my house because I want to know something about you. So I went and I studied with the Jehovah's Witness. Do you know they have an awesome teaching method? I don't go with everything they truly believe in, but I like their teaching method. I love the Pentecostal because we know how to praise, we know how to worship, we know how to pray. I love the Catholics because they're strong, they know how to save, they know how to invest. I say that to say you can learn something from everyone if it is taught to you properly, and then you can respect them better. In order to learn something, you have to know something. I don't fault these children for what they did. I was upset. I was disheartened. But the Bible tells us, train a child in the way he should go. And when he get old, he will not depart away from it. If we don't train our children now, teach them something now, because you guys, this teacher here asks for a raise. Education is the forefront for presidents, congressmen, senators, Republicans, even your position. In order for you to be there, you had to be educated. It took an educator to put you in that position. So all of us have to work together. Let's start now and give our teachers the opportunity, as well as our students, to learn about history. Okay? And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Alicia Harriel? Okay. And now we have open to the board. Mr. Dieterlisi, do you have anything?
No, Madam Chair, I have nothing. I do want to speak with Superintendent later on regarding Martin County High School, but I don't need to do it at public comment, at board comments.
Okay. Mrs. Steffenthaler?
I just want to add on to something that I was saying during the approval of the contract with what are we calling it? Indiantown High School. I was a little reluctant to vote for the charter. You know, I voted for it because I don't want anyone to think that I don't believe in the students in Indiantown, because I truly do believe in their abilities, in their talents, and their skills. I just don't know and believe that the charter's in the right location, and that's why I'm concerned about the enrollment at this point, even though they said they weren't surprised about only having 10 students at this point. I'm concerned because there's no transportation. I know they have to find transportation if necessary, but I think it's going to be a challenge. And I also believe that the Martin County School District already provides career tech vocational courses, and we're on the road, especially since Dr. Millay has been here, to expand our offerings for all district students. So I am a little concerned. I just wanted to state that. I voted for it, but I was reluctant to do that because I want the students to know and the families to know that I do believe in them and I do want what's best for them. I just don't feel or believe that the charter's in the right location, so I wanted to state that. The other thing I want to say is I attended the Nina Haven Scholarship Night, and and I think Mrs. Roberts and Tony were there, and I think it was a great night for scholarships. We had quite a few students, and I want to thank the Nina Haven organization for supporting our students. Also attended the Project Search, and I want to thank Renee Hayes. I don't know if was Renee here? Hi. And her entire staff, because what I saw there that day was so heartwarming
the relationships built, I mean, you could just feel it in the room between your staff, you especially, but also your staff, because it takes a leader to, you know, to have something happen in such a way that students feel supported and they can achieve success. And it's always based on relationships, and I really saw that, and I want to thank all of you, including your entire department, for that. It was great to see the students excel. They're receiving skills based on the fact that they have people who care about them and support them and have the patience to teach them. So please thank your staff for me also. It was a great day, great graduation. Also want to thank all the high school graduates from all the high schools, 2022 high school graduates this year. I wish you all well. I wasn't able to go to Clark, but because I had a family obligation. But I heard Clark's was amazing, and all the other high school graduations were amazing also. So I just want to congratulate everyone and wish them continued success. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Anderson?
Yeah, real quick, I'm not going to go into much depth here because we are in negotiations, but being that as a board member, I do want you to know that I fight for all the stakeholders. And so the lady, one of the ladies that just spoke doing public comment, she did say a mouthful there when she talked about the importance of, all of you said something really good, but when she talked about the importance of a teacher and how a teacher really influenced everybody. So, what I do want the public to know is that sincerely, behind closed doors, with what I'm seeing from this board, they understand your importance and they have a passion to try to give you all that they can. It's just, the picking's just been slim. And I wouldn't lie to you because you know that I will fight for you. They understand your importance. They know your worth. And whether you're a cafeteria worker, bus driver, I am really moved by what I see because they really want you to be paid as much as we can possibly give you. So I just want to put that out there, all right? Other than that, recruitment and retention is very important, and we want to try to keep you as much, not only just the teachers, but we're losing people from all over. I think we just lost a plumber today. We're down, man. And so we got to do what we can. It's just that it's not like we're rolling in the dough. It's just not like that. It's not that simple. You see us up here twice a week, but there's far more to this job than what you see. There's a whole lot more that goes to this, okay? Even preparing for it, even at home. You want to be a school board member? Just know that it's more than one or two issues, and it's not as easy or as glamorous as it looks. There's a lot to it, okay? So just know that, and so with that, I'm done.
I didn't realize we'd look glamorous. That's. Yeah.
To them, I
To
think
them,
sometimes, not to us. We get beat up.
Kidding.
Mrs. Powers?
Thank you. So I just wanted to say thank you to Ms. Roberts and Mr. Anderson for coming to the groundbreaking for the charter school. It was a historic day, especially for the students in Indiantown, but all of Martin County, really. And just to clarify, there is transportation. This has been a collaborative effort, a real, true public-private partnership. The Boys and Girls Club is on board 100%, providing transportation. The Martin County Board of County Commissioners donated the land. Indian River State College will be operating it, and of course, the private donor that donated to get this off the ground and built. There is nothing like that, and I guess for me, having grown up in Indiantown, gone to Warfield Elementary and Indiantown Middle, and have to be bused to high school, this is the first time that that community, and it's that mindset that, oh, well, it's never the right location in Indiantown. That's why we still have 5th grade at Indiantown Middle School, because finally we have a voice that's saying this is not right. This is not what we should be acceptable anywhere, or would be acceptable anywhere else in the county, except Indiantown. Well, times are changing. And thanks to the superintendent and this board, those things are really changing for Indiantown, and it's for the positive. And it's, yes, there may be a smaller enrollment, the same as Clark Advanced Learning Center had. They've only been at recruiting for a few weeks because when the charter, they couldn't do anything until the charter was approved. And the groundbreaking really kicked that off. So, you know, I just want to say how thankful I am to the support of the community as a whole, not just Indiantown, but the whole community in support of this school, because it is the right time for Indiantown. And these kids deserve the same things that every other student in Martin County gets, and to be able to go to high school, live in their community, go to school in their community. It's important. And it's been minimized over the years. And we know, as school board members, and I know, we are never going to build a $100 million high school in Indiantown. It won't happen. And this came along, and it's the right time with the right people, and it's the right thing to do for the students in Indiantown. So I thank you all for your support of that.
Thank you. I just had a couple things. I wanted to give a shout out to Kirsty Germain, who's the person who does all those videos that I think are really getting a lot of attention and really pushing forward the positive aspects of our school district. And also thank Alec and ET for taking care of my technology needs and all that entails. I'd like to remind the board that on June 28th, we have a budget meeting at 3 p.m. And on July 12th, we're going to have a special meeting at 4 p.m. and then a workshop immediately thereafter. There will be a millage discussion at the July 12th workshop, and then that will also be on the board agenda on July 19th, just so you have some idea of what that piece looks like. And that meeting on July 12th is at Martin County High School.
What was the date for the superintendent's evaluation?
June 28th.
June 20, on that day?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else? And so we'll adjourn at 5:20. Thank you.
Good job, Ms. Roberts.
Thank you.